Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to a new video. So today I figured to make a video just talking about today's updates because there's some pretty cool things that happened today. So first of all, I'm sure a lot of you guys have already seen it, but there is a new cape, and it is the music cape, and you can buy it from this guy Olaf the Bard, and he's up in Roleka to the east side of the Long Haul. And in order to get the music cape, to get the untrimmed version, you need to have all music tracks besides holiday tracks. So if you don't have the holiday tracks, you don't have to worry about it. You can still get the untrimmed music cape, and it looks like what this guy's wearing over here. And to get the trimmed version, it's actually basically the most show-offy cape in the game, because the trimmed version requires achievement diary cape and the holiday tracks. So you have to actually have all of the music tracks, including holiday, and you have to have all of the achievement diaries done to get the trimmed version of the music cape. So it shows off a little bit more than just the achievement diary cape, and I kind of like the looks of it better. So I guess it'll probably be my go-to cape if I want to show off and be a completionist nerd. But yeah, it also has the air guitar emote, so it looks pretty good. I don't know, I mean, emotes are emotes. They're not really too exciting, but yeah, it looks kind of cool, so that's nice. It's kind of interesting that they made it a separate thing and not just the skill cape emote when you're wearing it. But actually, I haven't tried if you can do it when you're not wearing the music cape. That's interesting. Oh, you can. All right. Well, that's kind of cool. So yeah, I'm actually gonna buy a second one because I only bought one. I got it when it first, like as soon as the update happened. But yeah, so I'll get another one for the placeholder. The hood looks kind of weird too. You have like the black inside, but it's not really noticeable when you're wearing it very much. But yeah, so that's one of the updates that happened today. It's pretty cool, and there are a couple other things. Actually, one other thing I wanted to mention about Music Cape. In order to get all of the music tracks, you need to get a track called "Victory Is Mine." Let's see if I can find it. And this one you can only get if you have a champion scroll, because it's unlocked in the actual arena. So if any of you guys are wondering how to get a champion scroll quickly, I'll show you guys a couple of ways that you can get them pretty fast. Alright, so when I was hunting for champion scrolls, for anyone who doesn't know, I have gotten all of them, so I have gotten experience with like hunting each champion scroll. The one that I found the fastest was Hobgoblin, actually. It wasn't Goblin, believe it or not. So the way that I kill hobgoblins is in the wilderness. There's a hobgoblin mine where there are a ton of them. It is single way combat, but you can set up a cannon, use a blowpipe there, and shoot over the rocks, and you hardly ever actually have to enter combat, so most of the time your cannon will be hitting multi. My recommendation here is to just bring blowpipe and then welfare ranged gear. And one thing that's really important to keep in mind, as you can see here, is that when your cannon is in your inventory, it'll protect over your blowpipe. So if somebody starts attacking you, when your cannon is in your inventory, just drop the cannon parts. It's not worth losing a blowpipe over that. And once you have your cannon set down, then you don't need to worry about it anymore, because your cannon doesn't like include itself as items that you're going to keep on death. If you're getting PK'd and your cannon is down, then just leave your cannon, because you won't lose it. It'll just, if you leave it for 20 minutes or 25 minutes, it'll degrade, and if you come back before then, you can come pick it up, but it won't, you won't lose your cannon as long as you leave it set up. So definitely do that, and as long as you do, then you'll protect your blowpipe. So just keep that in mind, and I would only bring maybe like 500 to 1k cannonballs at a time while you're doing this. But yeah, when I was doing this effectively, you might want to mess around with cannon placement and stuff like that a little bit. It's been a while since I've done these, but I was getting about 12 to 1500 kills per hour at these, and the champion scroll is 1 in 5k, so you can expect it to take like 3 to 5 hours on average, which really isn't too bad. And that's the only, I mean, other than that, the music tracks basically just like quest cape and walk around the game a bit, and you pretty much got it. So yeah, I mean, that's the fastest way to get a champion scroll. Other than that, if you don't want to go into the wilderness, the second fastest, well, the fastest non-wildy, actually the second fastest is also in the wilderness. The zombies in the Graveyard of Shadows were like 1200 per hour, I think. But if you don't want to go into the wilderness, you can kill regular goblins. There are a couple of spots that are good for that, so I'll show you guys the one that I used. So the fastest non-wilderness champion scroll to get if you don't feel like risking it all is definitely Goblin. You can still kill at least 1k of these per hour, so they're still pretty damn fast. The place that I got my Goblin scroll was this dungeon near the Fishing Guild, and I was under the impression that it's the fastest. I have had some people tell me that you can actually kill them faster in just the basic Lumbridge area, where I'm sure most of you guys are familiar with the like Goblin Hut and all that. So I never actually tried that. I just kind of assumed this was faster, but I was getting 1k plus kills per hour here. I mean, it only took me like 1k kills to get this scroll, so I didn't spend a lot of time there. But this is also where I got the scroll on RS3 a long time ago too, when I did them. And it was quite fast there. So this is a spot that I use. You can also try out Lumbridge, but I don't know the best like cannon placement and stuff like that. They're going to be pretty similar, but Lumbridge may or may not be better. I'm not really sure. But basically what you do is you set your cannon down there in the like central area, and then you just run up to the areas to the northwest and just shoot them, and you almost always one-hit them, especially if you have high range and void. And I'm using Addy darts, so you probably don't need to bother bringing Addy darts. You could probably get away with like mithril or even lower level, but those are just the darts that I always use, so I didn't really feel like switching it out. But yeah, you can get extremely fast kills here, and I forgot to mention in the last clip, but definitely take a Bone Crusher whenever you're doing these, because I think pretty much every champion scroll dropper also drops bones, and it gives you a really easy way to keep track of how many kills you've done, because you can see how much prayer XP you've gained divided by 4.5. But yeah, if you are interested in more champion scroll hunting, I'll link my champion scroll video in the description where I show all of the fights, and I have a link in the description of that video. I guess I could probably put it in this video too, but that talks about, or that it's like an imager gallery that shows where I killed each monster to get the champion scrolls and all that. So you guys can check that out if you want to. But yeah, that's basically the only like extra thing you really have to do to get Music Cape, is just get a champion scroll, which really shouldn't take you that long. I mean, the worst luck that I got on any of them was like 11k. It was actually Hobgoblins that I got the worst luck on. I got like 11k before I got the scroll, but even that really isn't that bad. So yeah, Music Cape's pretty cool. And the other major thing is the rework to F keys that happened today. So today's update came with a big change to F keys, and also another thing involving escape keys. So you can open up the F keys customization interface through your spanner, and then go to like the extra settings or whatever it is, and you can change all of your interfaces to go to any F key or escape. So you can make them whatever you want. I changed mine around to be a little bit more convenient. And another thing you can now do is you can close interfaces using the escape key. So that includes the bank, and that's a really big change for any skill involving banking. I mean, if you went hard with AHK beforehand, then it won't really make that big of a difference, but especially if you weren't big in AHK before, this will make a big difference in your banking speed. But as you can see here, I'm just doing some rune crafting, and I'm going to show off, how fast you can bank with using the escape. I mean, beforehand, if you had a really intense AHK script, like trance level intense AHK script, then it's not really going to make that big of a difference in speed for you, but I think for the majority of people, this will be a pretty big change, and it is really, really nice. So yeah, you can bank incredibly fast, and like just with a single drop down, rather than having to have like a diagonal AHK thing to go up to the X and then back down your inventory and stuff like that. It just makes it a lot more convenient and simple, and I really, really like that. And I'm racking my brain trying to think of other interfaces that will be useful to close quickly. But if you guys have any thoughts and any other like things that this has a big effect on, definitely let me know in the comments. It'd be interesting to see, because I feel like this is going to have a lot of subtle effects in areas that we may not immediately think of. But yeah, it's a really, really nice update. I'm sure it's going to be especially good for like PKers, like hybrid people and all that kind of stuff. I don't know, but it's nice for me too. I mean, I have a mouse with side buttons, so I just had the F keys mapped to certain side buttons, the ones that I use, so it doesn't really make that big of a difference for me, but it's mainly the escape key that's really, really cool. And one last thing that happened, a lot of people were asking about Venenatis, how was I getting so many Venenatis kills in one trip. I was using a safe spot, and it was I mean, some people knew it, but most people didn't, and I had a guy show me how to do it, so I figured I would take advantage of it while I could, and I did 500 kills of Venenatis using the safe spot, and it was a bit faster kills per hour, not as much faster as you might think though, because it's not hitting you any damage, so you weren't using Venge, so you're getting a bit less DPS overall, but you could do like 20 kills in a trip without too much difficulty once you got the hang of it. It also was a lot more click intensive, because you had to, each time you attacked, you had to click to a certain square. I mean, I'm not going to try to explain it right now, it doesn't work anymore anyways. It was patched today, and so was the long-standing Vision safe spot. That I'm pretty sure Mammal made a video about it a while ago, so that's patched, and I think Ring of the Gods are shooting up in price like crazy. I'm kind of glad that I already have one. But yeah, that happened, so I probably won't be doing too much Venenatis for a bit. I mean, I got 500 kills at least, made a good, probably like 40 mil, so that's not too bad. But I didn't get a pet, so rip. But anyways, yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you found it interesting, and feel free to leave any comments, questions, suggestions, whatever else you have in the comment section below. Drop a like if you enjoyed it, and yeah, I'll see you guys later.